Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Dominique from Nightlight Candles and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please like, subscribe. So on this channel, I am creating a candle business completely from scratch. We are less than a year in. Next quarter will be our 1 year mark. So we're taking it from the very beginning steps and seeing what I can turn this business into. And along the way, giving you some business insider tips and just some things that I've learned that could possibly help you in your candle making journey or whatever business that you are into. So a while back, I made a video on my car diffusers. It was my very first time making them, testing them, and kind of pricing them out. So in this video, I kind of want to give you guys an update on how my car diffusers actually did and how they sell. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at the results from these car diffusers. Also, I mentioned before that if we can get 1,000 subscribers, that I would make my candle maker's journal free for a limited time on our website, klsense.com. And because I haven't made a video in a few weeks, I want to just, as a thank you guys for sticking with me, I'm actually going to make it free right now. So if you click the link below in the description, you can, take that candle maker's journal and hopefully it'll help you along your candle making journey. All right, so in that first video, I was making these car diffusers for the very first time. I tested them for like a day in my car just to see if they worked, and they did. So I was pleasantly surprised with that. And a couple days later, I had a craft and vendor fair that I had to go to where I was going to kind of lay these out and just, see what the reception was to them. This was kind of my first time stepping out of strictly candles, getting into some additional scented product. And I'll be honest, it's like everything with this channel, as you've seen, the branding of these car diffusers were not great. I actually didn't even have a label on them. So I just kind of split them up between the different scents and then just kind of rocked with it like that. I didn't, and if people asked, I just told them what the scent was. I didn't have anything where they could really test the smell either. But you can kind of smell it like through the wooden top, but nothing too strong. So, just looking back on it, obviously the presentation was not great, but they sold pretty well. I was actually very pleasantly surprised at that craft fair. I think they were my best-selling product at the whole fair. So again, this was kind of a cheapy fair, so it wasn't like I was selling like tons of stuff anyway, but just due to the clientele there, this was an affordable product and people did buy it. So this kind of let me know that, hey, maybe I'm onto something, right? So when I got back, I started making more of these and trying to figure out how I can brand these. So then I started, creating the little labels for them just so people can differentiate what scents they are. And I also had sample car diffusers that people could smell, that where the wooden top was already saturated, so they could, smell what the scent is like. So I made that video back in April, and since that time, I've sold 343 products. Out of those 343 products, I actually sold 136 car diffusers. So as you can see, those are kind of a bestseller here. And I think there's a few reasons for that. One, I do price them at a below market value. I've seen people pricing these out between $8 to $10. I sell mine for $6. So I think you're getting a great value there. They work very well. And I know there's some concerns that I've seen from the previous video about some people not being able to smell theirs, and etc. And I'll address that here shortly, but I haven't had that issue. I've gotten rave reviews from my car diffusers, but yes, they are a bestseller for sure. And I think it's because, they are at that price range where, yes, they're affordable, they're priced below market, but I haven't always had the best spots in my craft and vendor fairs. So basically, by the time people get to me, they've probably spent all their money. I've literally been in the worst spots at these craft and vendor fairs, most likely because it's been my first time at a lot of these. So I'm just kind of taking what's left. But by the time people get to me, they probably spent their most of their money, so they only have a few dollars left or whatever. And the car diffusers are right in that range, and it's something they can use immediately and test them out. So there was another vendor at our craft and vendor fairs. They do walk around looking at other, vendor booths, and she ended up buying a couple car diffusers from me. And funny enough, I've seen her at additional craft and vendor fairs, and she absolutely raves about these car diffusers. At my last one, she bought like 8 of them by herself. So, she's a big fan of them. And I use them. I use my own car diffusers in my car now too. So I just absolutely love them. They work great and they last for a long time. So I think with all those factors, that's why people gravitate to them. I think another thing is TikTok. So when I started making these, I think I got lucky in a sense. So I didn't know that they started going viral on TikTok. Not my car diffusers in particular, but just the same type, right? The little car diffusers. Not my brand, but yeah, you get it. So they started going viral on TikTok, but I had no idea until I was at the craft and vendor fairs, and a lot of the younger people that were walking by my booth, they were like, "Oh, these are the things off TikTok," and I didn't know really what they were talking about, but until I think it was like a week later, I started scrolling on TikTok and I started seeing them everywhere. So I think that recognition also helped. So I guess I wouldn't say struck gold, but because I'm not selling like thousands of dollars worth of this stuff, but it did help me, I think, make more sales in that sense. And I don't just have my website. I also have an Etsy page. I don't make a lot of sales on there, but I do have it. And every sale that I've made on my Etsy page has been a car diffuser. So, just having those different avenues where people can access your products, I think has helped as well. So not only have I done the in-person craft and vendor shows, I sell on TikTok, I sell on my website, I sell on Etsy. So, I've been able to reach a wider range of people to buy my car diffusers. Next, I want to talk about wholesale opportunities. So due to the success that I've had with these car diffusers, I've started reaching out to different businesses that could also, help their customer base by using our car diffusers. So I'm actually in talks with a couple repair shops about wholesale opportunities. So they'll buy my car diffusers in bulk, and they can either give the car diffusers to their customers as a promotional gift, or they can have it as a shelf item. Now I do offer to put their, white label it, so I can put their brand information on the label if they'd like. I don't do too much customization with the label. I have my label template that I use. If they want to put their brand name on it, I do offer to do that for a small fee. Now, I want to make it as profitable for these businesses as possible, but I also have to make some money off of that. So we are in talks with a few other businesses about wholesaling with the car diffusers as well. And there's a lot of different shops that I think you can think about when you want to wholesale, or think about if you're thinking about wholesaling your car diffusers, right? So obviously, car shops, right? You can do dealerships, you can do car repair shops, smoke shops. Obviously, if people partake in that sort of activity, their car might not smell so great, so a car diffuser might work very well. So smoke shops are a good one. And then obviously you have your boutiques where you can not just sell your candles, but your other products as well, such as the car diffusers. So highly recommend getting into the wholesale game. Again, I'm not there yet, but we are in talks with a few places, and I am very excited about that opportunity. And just some advice for some of you entrepreneurs out there that are thinking about getting into the car diffuser game. I know there was some concerns that some of you had, and obviously the IFRA is one of them. I did make a separate video on this as well. Make sure to check the IFRA to make sure your fragrance oils are in compliance with car diffusers. Just as a safety precaution, right? You don't want to have your customers have an issue with your product, such as an allergic reaction or whatever can happen. So definitely check the IFRA. Don't just use any fragrance oil there is. Also, make sure you're using a good reed diffuser base. So I've had somebody say that they weren't able to smell their car diffusers, and while it's impossible for me to say exactly what could be the issue, you know, it is possible that maybe the reed diffuser base that you're using maybe just isn't too great. But I don't know. I'll tell you, I use the reed diffuser base from Candle Science, and it has not done me wrong. All of my car diffusers are very strong, and they work very well. I literally have not had one complaint from a customer about my car diffusers, and I hope to keep it that way, obviously. So if you're not having the intended results, I'd recommend maybe starting with the diffuser base. Again, I use the one from Candle Science. Maybe you should try that one. But I know there's a lot of other great companies out there that have diffuser bases. So I'm not telling you, what to do, but, just test out different things, see what works, what doesn't. Again, I'm going to refer you to the IFRA for these fragrance oils. I don't think I can stress this enough. And it's the one thing I did not hit in that first video. Like I said, I did make a separate video on it, but you want to make sure you're in compliance there. If the IFRA says you can use up to 25%, highly recommend using up to the 25%. If you want it to be as strong as possible, but still within compliance. Now, I have heard about people using like 100% fragrance oil. Do not recommend that. One, that's not anywhere near what's applicable in the IFRA, but I don't want to see you get into a situation where your customers are having some sort of reaction because you didn't follow those guidelines. Also, make sure you're following, see if you can follow those social trends, right? I kind of got lucky with the whole TikTok thing, but if you spot something on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, you can try to ride that wave, especially if it's within your fragrance category. So those are just some tips there for you. Again, I am very pleased with the car diffuser sales so far. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys kind of an update of how that actually went, because I didn't address it in that previous video. So yes, they are doing very well. And again, out of 343 products, we sold 136 car diffusers, and that's just since April. We continue to grow and brand and all of that stuff within our company. Again, we're less than a year old, and we have one more quarter to go before we hit that 1 year mark. And I will be sure to do a 1 year recap video to see how we're doing. Again, we're not blowing the roof off here, but I think we're making small progress, which is great, because I don't want to grow too fast, because one, I can't handle it. It's just me right now. I'm a one-man show. And my actual W-2 job has me on the road a lot right now. So, which is the reason I haven't been able to post a video in quite a while. So I apologize for that. But, I'm all over the place, and, but I still want to provide A+ customer service. And, growing at the pace that I'm growing at is, extremely beneficial. So, stick along, for the ride with me. Again, I so much appreciate everybody who tunes in. I think I have a lot more great content here for you coming up. And yes, please like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you want, just to ride along this journey with me, please do. So, but I'll see you in the next video. Thank you again, and see you next time.